when you think about what you've got, Coach, and I tell you what, I'll just show you this real quick. You can just go up and down the line with all the stories that are being posted right now about Carson Beck. As soon as you said he's full go, that was the headline. Everybody, especially fans of the U, are jacked up about that.
Well, I mean, I'm glad they are. I think, Leon, you could appreciate this. Somebody earlier today was like, well, Miami's always had talent. But I go, whoa. I go, stop with the BS narratives. When we got here to Miami, all right, in 22, we were sitting on the tarmac at a fundraiser because it was a 7th round and Miami had not had a player drafted. Okay, and we had to wait to see if one would get drafted to be able to handle the media that would come, the negative media that would come with that. And at the same time, everybody understand, dude, when Leon Searcy and the rest of that gang were playing at Miami, it was multiple first-rounders a year and double-digit draft picks. And that's always going to be directly related to what your season looks like, right? Those things are directly proportional. So you fast forward 3 years, now we've got 7 guys drafted. That's 6 in the country, so climbing steadily. You win 10 games, you go undefeated at home. Like, the progress is something that our foot's on the gas, and we want more, and we're going to get more. And I'm glad everybody's fired up about Carson Beck because you know what? He's a tough dude. He's an ultra-smart dude. He's been in big games, played big-time football. And the big question in him coming to Miami was, hey, do you want to make Miami better? Do you want to help elevate Miami? Because we all know players want to get better, but are you willing to do this? And he was all about it. And so it all ties in really, really nicely. It all fits together, and we're fired up about the guy, man.
Now, Mario, I already know not to ask you about Notre Dame because I know you're old school. You're about the business of ball. And Jimmy was the same way. No matter what the opponent was, it was always about the next day. Yes. That next rep, that extra film, that extra gasser, that extra play. Is that the same mentality? Because I know these guys are excited about week 1, but it's all about the business of are you getting better practice after practice?
Amen, brother. That's it. And I've answered that question ad nauseum out here today. I'm like, respectfully, I'm going to say we'll talk about Notre Dame during Notre Dame week. Right now is Miami going to training camp. Technique, fundamentals, getting in elite shape, physicality, mastering our systems, ball security, blocking and tackling, and making that culture strong, making the ID, the DNA of our team, right? Making sure that we establish that, the identity of our program. And that's what the focus is right now, brother. Everything else will be there'll be a time and a place for it.
We're talking with Mario Cristobal, coach of the Miami Hurricanes here at ACC Kickoff. I'm glad Coach just let me know don't ask that question about Notre Dame. But it is funny because we were talking with Wesley and Akeem and, of course, with Carson. And you can't help it. If you're players, you're in that weight room, you're out on the field, you are talking about that big game that's coming up. But like you said, taking every single day of this offseason and bringing them together. And it seems like every player has said that.
Well, that's why you make your practices and your training camp challenging. You make it somewhere it really, really pushes guys completely out of their comfort zone, and you look for breakthroughs, and you test them. And every single day you grade performance because you're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're never staying the same, right? I know, seriously, you know that old adage by Coach Johnson. And so, yeah, it's all focus is on us. Right now, the competition at most positions is pretty thick, and that's by design. We've been working really, really hard to elevate the roster, the coaching staff, the culture, the strength and conditioning program, the nutrition, and it's all coming it's just coming along great. And the trajectory continues to point upward and strong, so we just want to get to camp, man. We want to be able to just shut out the world and get to just Miami Hurricane family going to work.
Mario, one thing I could appreciate about your leadership is that they're about deeds and not words. We just had CC on, and all he talked about was get better. I mean, you're talking about the guy who's going to be a projected top 5 pick, but all he wants to do is continue to grow. He told me about this meeting that he went to with all the former offensive line. He said he was a sponge. He took in all that information, worked on his craft. I think in this day and age with everything that's going on, I find it refreshing to see a kid like that just wants to get better and grow each and every day.
Amen, brother. And that's the way it should be. I mean, that is the DNA of the guys that we have brought in. And at the same time, it's the consistent messaging from everybody in the building. Just get better. Just work your ass off. Do your job the best you can do it, and make sure you're having a positive impact on the people around you, man. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. And we're completely focused on doing just that.
Give us an idea of defensive, the change at coordinator, and then the talent, because Wesley, like we said earlier, Wesley and Akeem, they seem fired up for what's ahead. Reuben Bain's not here, but we know how talented he is. But a little bit on that defensive side.
Well, we needed to make a change. I mean, there was some success in 23, but after Game 4 in 24, we went on a downhill spiral that we just couldn't get out of. And, look, I know we had some injuries and we were thin on the back end, but you still got to be able to adapt and adjust. And at least, if you have to win games 45-31, I get it, but we lost our way completely and we were moving sideways. And we recruited big physical guys to get upfield and play fast and, explosive and physical football. And Corey Heatherman brings that to the table. It's exactly what we needed when we needed it. And the guy's an awesome teacher. He reminds me a lot of the guys that we had, Leon and Coach Wanstad and Coach Davis and Greg Schiano. This guy's just a high-level teacher, man, and a really, really good motivator. So our guys have loved every bit of what they've gotten from Coach Heatherman so far.
Now, Mario, I got to ask you this question. The 16-110s, did you do away with them?
No, we actually end up doing a lot more than that.
Oh.
It's expanded. It just
you've added more to them?
Well, we do different. We do, we start with 300s, 200s, 100s, and multiple cluster sets of 80s, 60s, 40s. We do it every way. We do a lot of stuff, man. We always add an overtime period to whatever we do. So it may not be the exact same test, but it is as or more challenging. And the rep count, I have all the old scripts. Brother, we do so much more now.
Bro, those things kept us up at night, bro. I'm 16-110s, bro.
And then
you added more to? You added more to it?
The workouts and the practices. Well, it's real simple. If you don't make it, tomorrow's workout, you don't have a workout. You have the same workout you did today. Do your damn 110s. Do your damn 80s, 60s, 40s. It's
you old school, bro.
The standards have got to stay high and they've got to be elevated. And you'd be proud, man. There's a legitimate just consensus of shut the up and get to work. It's that simple. Don't mind anything else. Just get to work.
Love it.
Couple more for Mario Cristobal, coach of the Hurricanes. Everyone does have an opinion on how the college football playoffs should look going forward. What's your opinion? Have you chimed in on it? You good with 12 teams? You'd like to see more?
I like 12. I like the 5-11 model.
Okay.
I do. I think, I don't believe in automatic qualifiers. That to me is why should anyone receive an automatic bid?
Totally agree.
I mean, football is cyclical. Teams and conferences go up and down, and that's just football, and recruiting and development is the most imperfect science in the world, right? So let everyone, as much as possible, let them earn it on the field, and then let's go from there.
And so would you, 5-11, you'd be hard and fast with that, and then you wouldn't worry about seeding just based on letting the committee seed them the way. In other words, last year I thought was a train wreck with conference champions being seated at the top. And they've eliminated that.
Conference championships have to be rewarded because then why play the game? If not, we're just having a beauty pageant, right? Mm-hmm. What looks to, the eye of the beholder, right? Not knowing exactly the depth of, what does that team, even though it's been known to be that or it was – projected to be that, what's really on the field and why are they winning or losing and how did teams do against. I just think all that, the projection stuff is, that's why the playoff system is so good in the NFL because it's set, right? There's a standard. You got to win the games. You got to be able to qualify. You're in these divisions and you go from there. That's the ideal. Mm-hmm. If you can't have that, then I think the next best model is 5-11.
Big.
Yeah, I wanted to congratulate Mario. I got to show some love on the number one recruit in the country, the offensive lineman. Big joker, bro.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to comment on that stuff during this time of year, but I know where you're coming from. I'm just not allowed to comment on it.
All right.
All right, so let's get the other number one before we're done. Cam Ward, we already knew that he was drafted first overall. He was going to play. Anyway, Will Levis is now shoulder surgery. He's going to be out, so he's gone. It's all Cam's. It's Cam's party now. And so what do you think about basically the talent that has now come into the AFC South?
Well, the same thing that I mentioned to the brass for the Tennessee Titans. Everyone knew that Cam Ward could throw the football and that he was talented. What people wanted to see out of him with his year at Miami was, can he elevate a program and continue to change the trajectory of a program and a franchise? And he did that, and I see him doing that as well with Tennessee. He's an elite human being and competitor. And he just, brother, he works at it. You know, he is not just a gifted guy. There is a guy that just he doesn't care about anything except winning football games. Yeah. Okay, that guy, you wouldn't find him anywhere but at the house with that mongrel of a dog that he had, a humongous beast that I was terrified of. But all he would do is just, again, just do whatever he can to help Miami win.
Now, Mario, sorry, Joe. Now, Mario, as far as Cam Ward, I mean, he is a rookie, and I know that he has this alpha male about him, and sometimes that could turn off a locker room full of veterans. But if he goes out there and proves it, which I know he will as far as wins go, I mean, he'll be embraced by then, right?
You know what, Leon, no one knows what those NFL defensive linemen look like and feel like more than you, brother. And, you know, I think when you're that much of an outwardly, prominent leader, I think people, are incentivized to get after you and come after you. I think that's part of the game. You know, I think he will earn the respect just through his hard work and performance. And people will soon realize that, yeah, sometimes they don't, people are a little bit taken aback by how aggressive he is. But what they cannot deny is his care factor and his commitment to the team. It's off the charts.
All right, Big Sir, send off Coach Mario so we can turn him loose.
Well, bro, hey, I know you're going to have profound success, man. Everybody stay healthy, I got to say but one thing. Go Canes, baby.
God bless you. Love you, brother. Go
Love
Canes.
You, bro.
Hey, y'all. Lauren Brooks here. Thanks so much for watching 1010XL on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and check out all of our great videos and team-specific channels on the 1010XL YouTube network.